I've been sitting in the hammock, laying in the hammock, for quite some time this morning, thinking about spinners. But not so much spinners as a different type of spinner. If you've been watching my videos in the last couple of days, you'll know I've been talking about a spinner, you know, like a little sort of fidget toy where you spin it and, you know, it kind of, it just spins in your fingers really, uses like a ball bearing or whatnot. I started thinking about, I'll have to show you. I have a tungsten cube here somewhere. I got it from Kickstarter. It's like this really heavy square inch cube of tungsten. I just have no idea where I put it. Oh, it's at the computer. This here. The light's not very good in here. Let's oh shit, the light's too good out here. Bloody hell. Right, let's see. Adjust. Right, there we go. So, this here is a very heavy cube of tungsten. And I'm thinking, what about a spinner like this? Not tungsten, but titanium, where there's like a button on each face, and you can just spin it like that. You can spin it in whatever way you want. It is just a toy. It's not a normal spinner, but like, I think I would like that. It means you can sort of like put it on your desk and you can spin it on your desk. Like, that's kind of where my thoughts have been going this morning. I'm gonna think about it a bit more, I think. Right, so you can probably see what I'm trying to do. I'm using a yo-yo bearing, fixing it to the table with blue tack, and trying to get this to spin on it. It's not working at all, but, you know, I'm gonna keep going, try and figure out another solution. Now, truthfully, I have got it going, but I'm not sure it's going to work because it seems to slow down really fast. So, you know, you can probably see in the video there, it spins, but it slows down quickly. And so that's where, you know, a spinner that's something like this is the better design, because, you know, you hold it in the middle and you spin it like that, and it's got, you know, it's got the weight on the outside. It's got the weight far enough outside that it acts like a flywheel and can keep going. With this thing, it's all in the center, so I don't think it's going to work. I'm pretty much aborting that idea. I have been thinking quite a lot today. It's now like middle of the afternoon. Been thinking quite a lot about just an ordinary spinner, you know, like maybe a tungsten one might be quite good. In fact, I kind of thought I'd start doing some 3D designing. You know, I have a few things down on paper. I showed you one yesterday. I'll show you another couple. They're pretty much the same, but you get the idea with that. Just fairly simple, fairly similar. If I get one made, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a bit different. I think I'll make it smaller. Yeah, not quite sure. But I did start doing some 3D designing on this laptop here. Now, I use a Mac for 95% of my stuff, like graphics and just emails and just pretty much everything. I use this PC for, like, I need to print to the label printer with it, and I think there's like one other thing I need a PC for. Except this thing is kind of old and tired. I actually upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10 just because the Solid Edge 3D CAD design software wasn't working, kept crashing, but now it's just slow. The graphics are slow. I went to the Sony website and they don't seem to do the graphics for Windows 10 for this, so it's just like, every time I get past a hurdle there's another hurdle, and I'm just thinking maybe I just need to buy a new PC, which I'm kind of reluctant to do. You know, as you may know, I've got, you know, cash flow issues just now. You know, like I've made a lot of mistakes, or should I say had a lot of learning experiences over the last year in business, and so I don't have the money and the cash flow that I'd like to have, and that's fine. I'm working my way slowly but steadily out of it. It's part of business, I believe. So I'm kind of reluctant to buy a new laptop just for 3D designing, you know, because I'm just going to do a few simple things. Like I said, I did start designing a spinner in 3D CAD just to sort of start getting a feel for it, because I'm only doing it sort of with hand sketching on paper, and you can only get so far. But the graphics, I couldn't do it. The computer was unworkable because I think it's just too slow and old. I have been working like a madman all afternoon for you, of course for you, and for me, for the spinner. I've been listening to two podcasts, one Tim Ferriss, the other by Sam Harris, and been doing a lot of research on my phone, just like at shapes and designs and things like that, and also been doing a ton of sketching. So I will show you what I have, because I think I have roughly the design I'm going for. Now I'll show you this one here. This is what I showed you earlier. So you can see on this design how like the circle is at the center, and then the sort of blade, you might call it, fans out. The spinner sort of fans out, kind of like a bow tie, kind of like that. And I kept hitting a dead end with that. It just, there's something not right about it. And so I did a whole load of other ones, some really messy and freehand, and others a bit better. So you can see these here. So I started in the middle and kind of worked my way out. And so what I ended up with was, change it around for you, still a very rough drawing, but here you go, this one here. So that there is the closest I have so far. So it's like the opposite of a bow tie. It's like an inverted bow tie. The tricky thing with that is that instead of it, like, the good thing about the bow tie is that the ends splay out, so you've got more area to put weight, so you know when you spin it, it's more like a flywheel and it can keep spinning. With the inverted design, it's like the opposite. You know, you've got less room to put weight so that it'll keep spinning for longer. So, but you know, like, I always believe in aesthetics as well as function. Like, so I don't see the point in making something functional when you can make it functional and look damn good as well. So, you know, a spinner is you know, it's functionally easy to do. I'm just trying to make it look good as well, because like, I've done a lot of research. There's dozens, there's actually probably hundreds of spinners out there. There's so many, it's unreal. And there's so many ugly ones. It's quite amazing, actually. It really is amazing. As you can see, I have been doing some 3D designing. I've made a little bit of progress. I stopped because it was very frustrating, because like I mentioned earlier, my computer's really slow, and you know, it's so slow that I'm clicking on the wrong things, and it's just, it's difficult. I have to keep zooming in and out because like the screen's going. Anyway, probably get a new computer, I think. And with that, I will leave you with a quote. It's by Edwin Land, and he said, "An essential aspect of creativity is not being afraid to fail."